Okay, we welcome back to his true home, Steve Cortes. Now, he's PAC's senior advisor and spokesman. He spent 2 years, I think, in the wilderness, the Siberia called CNN. But he's back. He's seen the light and he's back. Right. All right, Steve, your reaction to the... enough of this. This badinage.
Right.
What do you got to say about the JOLTS report?
Well, I am back because I'm working for America First to help re-elect this president so that these kinds of economic numbers just become the norm, all right? I haven't gotten sick of telling the good news of the American economy and of the renaissance that's out there, and I don't think the American people are tired of it. We have an economy right now that we haven't seen in this country really probably since the 1980s. I think in many ways we are hearkening back to the days of Reagan in terms of optimism, in terms of economic opportunity. This is a glorious time to be an American. The statistics prove it, and that's part of why I'm here to help re-elect this president.
Stay there, young man, because I'll take a quick look at the market. Look at that. We're back to a 100-point gain, 108 to be precise. OK, we got a 6.4 million openings, job openings, not as high as most people would like to see. We'd like to be back at 7 million, but we'll take it. And the market did not sell off on that number. In fact, it started to move up. Dow's up 111, 29,388, and now this. Oh, it's the Democrats' worst fear. Trump unleashed, and it's happening. He's unleashed the Justice Department to go after the sanctuary movement. He's unleashed the budget bean counters, cutting spending. He has a new combative tone, and he's enjoying it. Watch this.
We are the party of boundless optimism, excitement, energy, and enthusiasm. We love people. Our good Republicans in the United States Senate voted to reject the outrageous partisan impeachment hoax. In the House, we won 196 to nothing, and then we got 3 Democrats. And in the Senate, other than Romney, we had... We got 52 to nothing. We have the highest poll numbers that we have ever had. Thank you, Nancy, very much.
And why shouldn't our president turn up the heat? For 3 years, his opponents have dominated the national debate with contempt and, frankly, hatred. And the media has been fueling the fire. Well, they lost. And Mr. Trump has every right to come back strong. Better yet, he has the most important election issue very much in his favour. That's the economy. The left fought him on this. They opposed tax cuts. They didn't want to cut red tape. They lost that one, and the economy took off. And now they pretend that the astonishing stock market rally is somehow bad. Are you kidding me? Tell that to the 55 million households with a 401k, the 35 million with an IRA, tens of millions with a very nice retirement egg, thank you. The nest egg, that would be. The Democrats didn't want a wall, didn't want ICE deporting criminals. Now, Trump, unleashed, will put $2 billion into the wall, and his Justice Department will start dismantling sanctuary cities and states. If they thought illegals liked Republicans, the Democrats will be building the wall. Personally, I'd like to see the president unleashed on all those who call him and us nasty names. America is not a racist, bigoted society. Remember that. Remind them of that, forcefully. No more Mr. Nice Guy, please, Mr. President. That's what I think. President Trump taking off the gloves, as you saw right there, going for the knockout punch. Look who's with me. Wall Street Journal editorial board member and former speechwriter for President Bush, Bill McGurn, and the already introduced Steve Cortes. Bill McGurn, to you first.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. I'm not sure that Democrats...
Are you enjoying it as much as I am?
I'm not sure Democrats would think he was leashed much before.
That's true.
But, you know, what's interesting, especially if you compare what he's saying, his State of the Union message, you compare the State of the Union, it's basically Morning in America, Reagan's re-election bid, right? We've done all these good things. The best is yet to come. It's very optimistic. And then you compare that with the Democratic debate we saw Friday. I don't think there was a single positive word about the private sector. It's all about how we're a fundamentally racist and sexist society. I don't think there was a single positive word about America or, again, the private sector.
I think America in general is tired of the name calling.
They are.
Right.
Tired of that contempt. They don't like it. We don't like it any longer.
Right. Well, of course, that was, Mrs. Clinton's with the deplorables, but Bernie Sanders has said almost the same thing, and most of the other people have said variants of it.
And, Stuart, to that point, I think, there's a split screen political scene right now. You have, on the one hand, the president, and you have American action. You have accomplishment, achievement, and we certainly saw him properly boast about that in his State of the Union last week. And then on the other side, you have Beltway bloviators who are fixated on nothing but attacking the president rather than an action agenda. And so I think that contrast is very evident to the American people. And I'm so glad that you brought up sanctuary cities, by the way, because I'm an Hispanic, I'm a son of an immigrant. And let me tell you something, legal immigrants in this country, they can't stand the notion that the Democrats put forward that it's okay to come into this country and trespass into our country. And then on top of that, when you have trespassed into our country, if you are a known dangerous criminal, to hide in plain sight in so-called sanctuary cities like this one right here in New York City.
Do you think the American people like to see our president forcefully going after his opponents? Do they like it?
Yes.
Because a criticism of President Trump has been his style, language, tone.
Stuart, this president was elected to be a fighter, all right? He is a consummate counterpuncher. I often call him the Floyd Mayweather of politics. Nobody counterpunches better than President Trump. So he is best when he is fighting, and that's why we elected him. Look, we didn't elect him to tinker around the edges. We elected him to smash the crony system of the permanent political class in Washington, D.C. that created monstrosities like sanctuary cities. So, yes, he's fighting. That's what we elected him to do. The president, he doesn't drink, but he's like a fine wine. He's getting better with age as his administration goes on.
Okay, hold on a second. We better check that market because we've gone back up some more. Now we're up 106 points, 29,383. We had crossed 29,400 earlier today, but we're up 109 points. There you have it. Quickly, a couple of individual stocks. Hasbro, they reported this morning, toys from big movies like Frozen 2, Star Wars, made them a lot of money over the holidays. They're up just $1.21, $102 a share. But Under Armour, they reported weak holiday sales, and they've got virus worries that that'll hurt their business in 2020. Look at that. Under Armour is down 17%. Back to Bill McGurn, still sitting next to me. Glutton for punishment, this guy.
That's right.
You wrote an article, Mayor Pete is the man to beat. But his record isn't much in South Bend, is it?
Absolutely, and that's the great secret. Mayor Pete's been pretty good in the debates. He's kind of unflappable, and he holds himself well. And the Democrats have been looking around. What's the guy's weak spot? Well, the weak spot is his record. He keeps talking about this South Bend that's transformed, and the closer you look, the less good South Bend looks, especially for the African American community, which is about a quarter of the population there.
Is that the home of the Fighting Irish?
Yes, it is.
Notre Dame?
Yes, that's right.
Do you know that I once walked up to the band leader of the Notre Dame brass band?
Right.
This is a long time ago. I just arrived in America. And I said to him, "My, that's a wonderful high school marching band you've got there." An Englishman with an English accent saying that to the Fighting Irish band leader. I shouldn't have done it.
Yes.
But that's
if only you were wearing a bowler hat and an orange sash.
This is 30 years ago. Anyway, that's my South Bend story, Bill.
Right.
Okay, moving on. Check this out. Gallup poll, sensational stuff. 59% of us, that would be Americans, say they're better off financially, and 74% things are going to get better from here. Steve? Come on, have at it. That's as good as I've ever heard.
Listen, as a messaging guy, Stuart, I almost feel badly for the other side. Almost. Because I don't know how you run against this. How do you run against this level of optimism, really? As Bill mentioned, it is morning in America. There's a renaissance in this country. And not just that. It's a broad prosperity. We're now benefiting the economic underdogs, the strivers, the people who did not participate in the slow growth Obama years. And all of these poll numbers are just stupendous. Gallup also released 90% of Americans, all-time records, say they are satisfied with their personal lives. So there is a spirit in our land right now that is palpable and real, and I believe that people are going to vote more than anything their kitchen table reality come November, and they're going to reelect this president because, as good as it is, we haven't seen nothing yet. We can do even more, I believe, in the next term.
Steve Cortes, Bill McGurn, both of you, thanks very much for being with us today. Appreciate it, one and all. Yes.